Okay, let's have some fun and let's get into it. Hmm. All right. So let's have some fun and let's get into a conversation that needs to be had today, not just for myself, but for all of us in every way. All right. First and foremost, most of you guys know me. My name's Teddy Galloway. Nice to see you. Um, I'm going to allow a couple people to join before I start talking. Okay. All right, everybody. Life is tough. First thing I'll say that just because I need to clear the air and get it out there. Life is tough. And sometimes we don't know what other people are going through. The title of this video or this live session here, whatever I'm doing, is called Choosing Joy. And I'd like to explain something that I'm learning as part of my personal philosophy, and I'm having to relearn often over the last 3 years. When we go online, the first thing you see when you wake up, you go online on Instagram or TikTok or anywhere is bad things happening. Right now, there's wildfires happening in California. People are losing their homes, and entire neighborhoods and cities are being decimated. We saw the floods happening in North Carolina. A lot of people are in anguish over politics and the direction of the world. Wars being fought all over the place. People are quite literally being slaughtered. We know that children and women and men are being molested and taken advantage of. We know that people are being genocided. We know it's happening in the world, both in Africa and the Middle East. And we know that there seems to be this feeling of looming pressure and tension that things are going to get worse. But also back home, a lot of us are dealing with our own personal issues. We've got work challenges, and we've got uh, relationship challenges, and we've got children challenges and health challenges, and we're witnessing people die. Personal story from you to me, from me to you, is this. Over the last few months, I've been going through it. No, I would say over the last few years, I've been going through it. But the only reason I'm even smiling is an immense sense of gratitude for life and joy. And so this video is called Choosing Joy, because if we don't choose joy, the other option is the inverse, which is personal anguish, which could lead to fear and destruction and self destructive behaviors and other things that harm yourself and others. Earlier today, I was talking to a friend, a colleague at work, who is also experiencing a death of a close loved one. And we were having a conversation, and she said something of the nature, it was like, but you look so happy. Yeah, I look happy. Looks can be deceiving. The reason why I'm smiling and I look happy is because I still walk around with joy and gratitude in my heart. And if it wasn't for my early experiences of tough struggles and things, I wouldn't be like this. And not everybody is like this, which means it is important and it does behoove of us to choose joy and to experience gratitude in our lives. Now, friends, I know how difficult that is. I know how difficult that is because I have to do it every day, but it's something that you have to do. And all the time, you're going to hear people say, you just have to be grateful. And sometimes you don't even know what that means. Hell, sometimes I don't know what that means. But I can tell you what it looks like for me. It means waking up every day and thanking God that I have breath. It means waking up every day and being grateful that my body works relatively the way it's supposed to. It's waking up every day and knowing that I might not have another day and I might not even make it through that day, so I better make it great. It's also knowing that there are people who rely on me and that there's a person and that there's a purpose and that there's a mission and that there's things to do out here beyond just sulking and wallowing in misery and pain and grief. But misery is all around us, pain is all around us, and grief is all around us. But there has to be something bigger, something stronger, something more pressing that pushes you forward and makes you feel like you have a life. And you also have to have people around you that support you and that you support, that you find terrific. Some of you I find terrific. Some of you need support. So I'm going to say these kind words to you today. I was talking to another friend of mine who's going through co-parenting challenges. And as she elucidated her co-parenting challenges, she was expressing frustration. But sometimes these challenges makes us better persons and allows us and gives us perspective so that we can have empathy and support other people in the future. And also is important for us. So that's my number one advice, is to choose joy over happiness. Now, I want to contrast joy and happiness. Joy is something you choose to do. It is something that you choose to have inside of you. It's something that you choose to show the rest of the world. It's brightening other people's lives through those interactions that you have with them. But then on the other hand, happiness is something fleeting. It's contentment for a state, for a certain period at a time, right? Happiness is something that you get when you obtain something that you really want. Happiness is something that you get when you're satisfied because of something somebody did for you. But again, joy is something that is selfless. Joy is something that is more about your experience than it is about what you're receiving and what you're gaining. Joy is what you feel when you're accomplishing something. Joy is what you feel when you are moving in the right direction. Joy is what you feel when you are grateful. Happiness can come from gratitude, but happiness is fleeting and it will eventually go away, just like all of us. But if you live with joy and you have joy, you oftentimes share that joy with others, and then they share it with others, and it perpetuates. It's like a small little drop that you can drop into an ocean of joy that gives humanity more opportunity to experience love and happiness. Not that fleeting happiness, but that deep joy. So I want you to understand that a lot of people in life are chasing happiness. And I've talked about this in the past, and I will continue to talk about this. I don't believe in chasing happiness. I don't believe in chasing some fairy tale dream, but I do believe in creating joy and living with purpose. Oftentimes, I have friends, I have a lot of friends who they have accomplished major things, but now they find themselves in a state of confusion, in a state of feeling like they're in a holding pattern because they thought that what they did or what they were doing was going to bring them happiness and their happiness disappeared. But that's because they aren't living with joy. But once they discover that they just need to find a way to climb the next mountain, that they become happy and joyful with themselves and who they are and content with who they are in here, then they can share with the world love. And unless you have love and gratitude, you can't really have joy. You can have happiness. The drug addict who takes a hit of whatever their drug is feels happy in the moment, but they don't feel joy. The alcoholic who, well, alcoholics can feel joy and happiness, but that the substance is what brings them temporary short-term contentment and relief. But these things are fleeting. That's why it's important for us to, one, find people who support us and we love community, people who give us good relationships. One of the as Rudolf Adler, one of the um, psychoanalysts that was not friends with, but a colleague of Freud and Jung, he said that all of our problems are interpersonal problems. All of our problems are related to our social dynamic and who we think we are in relation to the other people around us. Joy means that you feel love and contentment and purpose with and for the people around you. And happiness usually happens when you're placing that happiness on something material or something short and fleeting. So I would like you to please choose joy over chasing happiness. Yeah. And that's all I've got. Basically, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I find myself facing multiple challenges, just like all of you, multiple challenges, just like everybody. People are dying. I see the world and I want it to change. I feel extremely motivated to do things and to take action, but oftentimes I find myself unable to determine what the right step, the right course of action is that I need to take in order to see the effects that I want to see. This also is what we call when we say have faith. Unfortunately, I haven't had faith. I have not been presenting on camera expecting things to get better, even though I'm told every day inside my heart to do it. So, although I'm choosing joy, although I'm grateful, I am not acting it out in a state of love with fullness of faith and gratitude. And so I want to do that now. So, over the last couple of weeks, I've been helping other people putting their brands together and helping them understand how to share their content and how to share their voice so that they can be heard. But on the other hand, I myself have not been doing that. I haven't been leading the charge. I've been telling and then coaching other people on how to do it, but I haven't been doing it myself. So I'm taking a step to do that right now with you, and you're a witness. But also, I'm just as I sit back and I'm humbled by a few of the conversations that I had today about relationships and about the challenges people are facing and about death and everything that they're going through. This is the preeminent message that is written on my heart today, which is joy. So that's all I've got. I hope you've found at least a sentence or a word that has inspired you to choose joy today and make you feel grateful for the moments that you have, for at least for us being alive, because we might not have this tomorrow. And if you did, please leave a comment below. And if you didn't and you think I'm crazy or you think there's something wrong about what I'm saying, please leave a comment below. And so we can get into it. As time progresses and as things move forward in my life and yours, I promise you this one thing. I will be putting out more videos and they probably won't be live. It'll be more scripted and it'll be more diligent in my approach. But I just want to say that I hope that you would follow along. Now, you can go to my Instagram and follow me, teddygalloway.ig. Yeah. And also I have a YouTube channel. But I'm coming out with a new series of videos and a new name and a new brand. And I hope that when you do see that, you do follow along there. Also, shout out to my sister Paige, who's starting her own podcast, The Kitchen Table. I hope that you guys follow her too. That would be dope and that would be great. Maybe in the comments below, I'll put that link as well. Also, there are a lot of other friends that are doing great things out here in the world, and you guys should know about them. And in subsequent weeks, as I produce my own content, I will sit down and do interviews with a couple of my closest friends so that you can meet them as well and you can understand the impact that they're trying to have. For instance, Paige, my sister, can help you understand grieving, and she also has experience in leading youth and coaching them and helping them get along. She also knows how to put together social situations and environments to help people figure out how they can work together and move forward. She does that at the Goodwill where she works here in Frederick. And then my friend Imani, she provides medical assistance and helps people understand and organize all their medical journals and know how to talk to their clinicians and talk to their providers. And she helps them understand their medical diagnosis. And she has content that's coming out too. And then I have my friend Bethany, who's also putting out content. She's an outstanding writer. She helps people figure out how to write their memoirs. Because if there's one thing I know that you probably need help writing, and you probably have a lot inside of you that needs to be shared with the world so that at least one other person can experience joy from your support and some kind word that you offer. So I know that there are a lot of other people who I'm surrounded by who are doing things like this, and I want to continue to share what they're doing. But in the meantime, I need to share myself first so that I can be the leader that I say I am, or that I want to be, and that I was trained to be. Anyway, my name is Teddy Galloway. I hope you guys are having a great day and that you're choosing peace and joy and that you're not chasing happiness, but you're finding real purpose in your life. And I also hope that as you continue to see me make these videos, you follow along and you comment. Something I notice is that when I write long posts, nobody reads them. But when I make videos, at least it gets double the uptake and views. And I get responses, people saying, hey, you should do that more often. So I'm going to do it more often. I'm going to take the advice because I'm getting the advice for a lot of years everywhere I go. Actually, funny story. I used to work at DoorDash, and when I was working at DoorDash, I was responsible for, I wasn't a driver. When I was working at DoorDash, I was responsible for training. For the people who work at the corporate headquarters, I'm responsible for different types of training, for performance management training and all these other things. And so I would be known sometimes as the voice of DoorDash, and people would message me and be like, "Hey, dude, do you have a podcast or something?" It's like, I will. But every time I say I will, I just keep getting busy with all the things happening in my world. And I don't do it because I'm helping other people and I'm not filling my own cup and I'm not preparing for my own future. I'm always supporting other people, which is great because it's made me an expert at doing these things. But I need to follow my heart and I need to listen to all the people who are telling me. I had a friend yesterday, Jerry. Jerry reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I used to follow on YouTube 10 years ago. We're still friends. I don't see you posting anymore. Where can I find your stuff?" I told him, same thing, soon. But there was no intention. There was no specific date. I didn't have a set goal. I didn't have a smart goal on when I was going to do this. And I find that reprehensible. My nephew, Major, my sister's second oldest, second youngest, the middle kid, Major, he came to me and he had a bunch of, and he has an interest in electronics and he has an interest in IT and he just got his first computer and he wants to learn how to make and edit videos. And we sat down, he spent the night with me one night and we were just planning for his next 2024. Here I am planning 2024 for him. And then he turns and he looks at me and he says, "Hey, Uncle Teddy, everything that you're having me do, I want you to do." And it's now January 9th, and I have not set my own intention and goals for 2025. Sorry, 2025. I haven't set my intention and goals for 2025. And I asked him to make a video talking about his 2025. And in 2025, I hadn't even made a video yet. How dare me? I believe that one thing I learned from the Marines is that you lead from the front. You lead by example, and you lead and you take the charge as the tip of the spear so that you could drive change. And I'm a change management professional as well as a learning professional. So it would make sense that I practice the things that I know and I know very well, and I've trained other people to know and to train other people to do. So why not do that myself? It would be foolish not to. So here I am, deciding to choose joy, have a little faith, put myself out there, just like all the rest of you guys are, and to elucidate some ideas that could potentially make people's lives a little bit better, or at least make them feel a little bit better about who they are. So, despite all of the things that I see in the world because of my background and my profession in national security in the Middle East, I'm choosing joy today, even though it's super hard. And although I see my family members passing suddenly without answers, I'm choosing joy because that's what's required of me. And although I'm facing difficulties in a variety of ways, none of these things will last forever. Not a single thing. And there's one thing I believe in more than all other things, and that is God. And what the Almighty has reminded me through all of the scriptures, the countless books, is that when you reach out in faith, that entity that powers you and energizes you reaches out to you and gives you what you need. And there's a verse in one of the books. It says, "Surely with hardship comes ease. Therefore, I say to you and to myself and to my own heart and spirit, with hardship comes ease. After the hardship comes the ease." And we're alive and we're born and we die. And through that, we go through various degrees of happiness and depressions and sadness and badness and fears and confusions and clarities, but always choose joy and have a little faith, faith of mustard seed. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today, gents and ladies, ladies and gents. Peace be with you. God bless you. Salamu alaikum, shalom, sawabona, namaste, and what's up? This has been one of those live thingies that I like to do. My name is Teddy Galloway, and I hope you guys have an outstanding day. And I hope that the world treats you right and that you treat other people right. And I hope that you feel great in your own skin with who you are. And I want you to have a great day. Peace be with you, friends. All right, I'm really hanging up now. I'm gonna get off of here. I'm done.